Hey guys, welcome back to Kitchen Court Cases where we watch court in my kitchen. I have a really interesting case today out of Kansas that I would love to hear your guys' opinions on. Anyways, let's take a look at what we've got.
We are on the record in the 13th Judicial District, the District Court of Butler County, Kansas. This is our 2:30 limited actions docket for March 6th, 2023. First on the docket is 2023 LM 82, Wheatle Property and Management LLC versus Douglas Apple II. Are the parties ready to proceed?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Apple, would you start your video, please?
Yes.
I'm trying to.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Apple.
Yes.
We were here a week ago on an eviction, at which time Mr. Apple asked for an opportunity to make payment in full. He assured that he would be able to pay the money owed on the rental by the end of that week. And Mr. Wheatle was skeptical, saying that he'd heard promises before that had not been kept, but I did continue it nevertheless for 7 days. So, Mr. Apple, were you able to pay as committed?
I paid him for December's rent, and then the other two places were to contact him. And I know that the one place did, but not the other one. Salvation Army had been trying to get a hold of him all day, they said.
I have contacted the Salvation Army. I've talked
You
to
did?
them.
Okay.
All right. So, Mr. Wheatle, you were right. It didn't come to happen as Mr. Apple said it would, but I did give him the opportunity. He made some success, but not all. How do you want to proceed?
Can we schedule it out for 2 weeks, Judge, and let everything get caught up?
Do you think he can in 2 weeks, and you're willing to allow that?
Well, I've okayed it with the Salvation Army and the Center of Hope. If
All
they
right.
get me, he'll be only one down by then, but he says he's working steady now where he can pay, so.
All right. I'll be happy to set this over 2 weeks. Kaylee, what do we have? We have March 20th at 2:30.
Yes, ma'am, we do. I can set it there at 2:30.
All right, gentlemen, we'll reconvene March 20th at 2:30, and hopefully we'll be in a position where the action can be dismissed by Mr. Wheatle for fulfillment of the contract.
If he gets paid, if I get paid before then, can I just call in and cancel?
That'd be fine. Yes, you can. You'll still need to do a journal entry of dismissal, but yes, that'd be fine.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wheatle. Thank you,
Thank
Mr. Apple. You may
Thank
go. We'll now be on the record in 2001 LM 2170 Spirits Zone versus Stephanie Kirsch.
May it please the court, plaintiff appears through counsel Gary Fanning.
Defendant appears at Sally Port.
All right, let's get her in here, please. All right, are you Miss Stephanie Kirsch?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, this is a case, obviously, by the case numbers been going on since 2001. And the plaintiffs have come in regularly since and renewed the judgment. They've garnished a time or two before. And now all of a sudden, Ms. Kirsch, you want to object to the garnishment. What is your legal objection to the garnishment?
Well, I was under the understanding that it was protected fund. Well, okay, first of all, I have mental issues. I'm on disability. So what they took was disability income that I was told that was protected. I should have dealt with this before, but everybody in the whole world said statute of limitations is up. They can't do this. They can't do it. It's protected, but they keep doing it. And so, it's going to destroy me, but I guess it didn't matter. I paid the money. I mean, it was over $10. It was over a 6-pack of beer, Your Honor. And I brought the $35 fee plus what I owed them, and I took it to the store and I gave it to the clerk. But either the clerk put it in her pocket or he was confused. I don't have any idea, but I paid it, and it apparently never got paid. So statute of limitations? It's like 20 years ago, really? Over $10, really? I'm
Was
sorry.
it
It's not really funny because I'm going to be the one on the street, So
Was it a pack of beer or was it a insufficient funds check for the beer?
it was an insufficient funds check for a 6-pack of beer.
I obviously wouldn't have been the judge in 2001, but I do know that even then the laws were pretty accommodating to businesses that received insufficient funds checks, both criminally and civilly in the law. Mr. Fanning, your response?
Judge, a couple things, Your Honor. First of all, the judgment itself, the validity of the underlying judgment is not shouldn't be before the court today. This is an objection to garnishment. The statute specifically sets forth specific reasons that or specific exemptions that can be raised. The only one that has been raised today is whether or not this was exempt funds because it was disability income. I would let the court know that we received an order, or I'm sorry, an answer back from the bank saying that there were no funds held. So we didn't get anything on this garnishment. So actually the objection is moot at this point in the sense, again, the answer filed by the bank showed no funds. As far, again, as the judgment itself, this goes back to 2001. As the court pointed out, we have filed renewal affidavits. We have tried to collect on this for quite some time. The statute of limitations has nothing to do with this. And as far as the judgment being valid still, again, if Ms. Kirsch wants to challenge the validity of the underlying judgment, then she needs to file the proper motion. I would also add that there has never been anything paid at all on this judgment, not one thing. And in regard to the old check laws, and actually I think they can still be pretty harsh, but before that kicks in, folks are given a chance to pay the amount of the check itself and really not that much of a penalty. It only gets to this point when it gets allowed to get to this point. So again, I feel for Ms. Kirsch, but I would suggest she contact my office at some point and try to set some payments up or maybe even offer a settlement. Again, old case, and a lot of these clients are more than willing to take a lesser amount to get them closed and out of here, but they're not going to close it at this point with no payments. So I'd ask the court to deny the objection.
All right, so as I said, this is a 2001 judgment, but there's nothing at this point to suggest it wasn't anything but a legal judgment. And it did have renewals in 2007, 11, 16, 20. So the plaintiff seems to be staying on top of this. They don't seem to be going away, Ms. Kirsch. Ms. Kirsch, she's not your lawyer, but turning to the deputy.
Sorry, ma'am, they've taken $400 now. So I don't know where his information is coming from, but they have seized, I mean, I don't have the exact amount in front of me, but they've taken right about $400.
Well, we are here because you objected to them issuing a garnishment against a bank. And he's telling us that the bank said you had no funds and they gave him no funds.
Judge, I think I misspoke on that.
Okay.
I apologize. The answer that I'm looking at is actually a 2022 answer. I did go down, so we must not have the answer yet from the bank. So if that's the case and they're holding $400, then we will be getting that. And I will say, though, that she has raised the exemption of disability, and we would obviously give that back immediately. What I ask generally in these situations, Judge, is that if she can provide us with 3 months of bank statements that shows me that that's what money was put into that bank account, I'll release the garnishment immediately. So I would just ask that at this point, we set this over for a week or 2 weeks, whatever Ms. Kirsch needs to get me the information.
Well, as I was reviewing the file, counsel, I did see that June 15th of 2022 garnishment request was made, and that same date the order was made for the non-wage garnishment. But when I looked at the June 23rd return, it was blank, and I didn't know what that was telling me. And then I saw January 9th, another garnishment request accompanying a garnishment order, return on February 13th blank. So I couldn't tell from looking at the file if the bank had even returned the garnishment. So maybe you've got more than what the clerk's file has.
Judge, I would just like to clarify the return of service of garnishment. They're not blank, they're just formatted a little differently, but those are the returns of the attorneys sending the garnishment out. The answer is actually never filed with the court. We don't see that because of the private financial information.
Okay, that explains why I'm not seeing them then. So you would have the answers to those then, Mr. Fanning.
I would, Judge, and you're right, because on that one from 2022, I do have the answer to that. There were 0 funds. That's the one I misspoke earlier. I don't have the return those for the one that Ms. Kirsch is currently objecting to. So again, as long as I can be shown that that is disability, Ms. Kirsch, we will absolutely release that. So I just need
What
to
does
see.
he need? What does he need for me to show him or give him?
I'll have you repeat what you said, Mr. Fanning, about the last 3 months of records.
Yes, ma'am. If you can just get me, if you just ask your bank, they will print off for you your bank statements for the past 3 months, and that will show the disability payment that went into your account. And if you just get that to me, and I can give you an email, and you can email it, however you can get it to me the quickest, I will take care of it. I don't want to hold up your disability payments, ma'am, at all. So.
And as I said, if you want to get with him and try to settle this once and for all, maybe settle it for a reduced amount or something, so that it doesn't keep coming back to bother you.
So for the rest of my life, they're gonna come try and take this money for the rest of my life, Your Honor? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that. I said that if you want to try to get this settled for a reduced amount, you should contact him.
Oh, well, I will definitely contact him and send him what he wants today. I didn't know what everybody wanted me to bring. Okay, it's a mental disability. I'm so sorry. I just don't get things a lot.
All right, if you would give your email to the deputy bailiff there.
You?
Yep, right.
Okay.
And deputy, if you would get that to Kaylee at the clerk's office. I don't know if there's a faster way, Kaylee, for her to do that here. if they want to just send it by chat to Mr. Fanning directly.
Judge, I can just give her my email right now, and I can give her my personal email. And if you, Ms. Kirsch, would just send me a quick, hey, this is Ms. Kirsch, then I'll have your email. Get me those bank statements, and we should be able to take care of this really quickly. Okay?
Can I ask a question? So does this mean that I have this garnishment in my records now? What does this mean to me going forward? I mean, is this like on my record? I just don't really understand how. I don't really understand. Or it's like it didn't happen, or it did happen, or what's happening now to my reputation, my records, when people,
Well, you have been garnished, but the garnishment has not been. Well, it has been. But you've been garnished, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to try to be your lawyer, but Mr. Fanning, you are live on YouTube. If you just so you know that, you'd be giving out your personal email. Are you okay with that?
My work email, Judge. I'm fine with that. It's public. It's G. Fanning, G, yes, the letter G.
Okay.
Fanning, F as in Frank, ANNING, at B as in boy, A as in apple, law, LAW.org, O-R-G. And
Okay.
and honestly, Ms. Kirsch, just get me a month's, your last month's bank statement.
Well, I've got them going back till 2000.
I don't need that many. Please don't. No, please, I don't want that many. So just send me a month or two, okay?
Okay, I got it.
Perfect. And
I'll
if
do it
you,
when I leave.
as soon as I get that, I'll be gone this afternoon. I'll be able to look at it by tomorrow at some point. I have no doubt what you're telling me is true and accurate. And once I get that, verify that for my client, I'll get the release going on the garnishment, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Fanning, did you want a review date on this?
I don't think so, Your Honor. If it's okay with the court and we really needed something, I think I could contact Haley if that's okay and ask it to be reset.
All right. Well, if you would do some type of journal entry showing that the two of you are going to work this out, or that I'm denying at least at this point the objection.
Absolutely, Your Honor. I'll lay everything out.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll be in recess on Spirit Zone versus Stephanie Kirsch, and you are excused at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Kirsch.
Thank you.
Wow. What did you think about that? Stolen beer from 2001. Apparently, the judgment must have been for court costs and lawyer fees or something. I'm trying to understand how a 6-pack of beer could turn into more than $400 worth of something. But I really liked how the lawyer and the judge handled this. Yeah. Tell me what you think down below, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.